I want to tell you what we know right now, though. 2 people are dead, an additional 2 to 3 injured. After more than 8 hours, firefighters still on scene here working to put out the hot spots. This is the pile of metal from the roof that collapsed. There is a shooting in the northwest section of the city. We are at the intersection of Cortland Road and Lyndhurst Street. Right now, let's move over and take a look. All this happened after some storms came through around 2:30 this afternoon. Since we last spoke, the line's starting to form here. Take a look. Dozens of students showing up here ahead of Mike Pence's visit. You can see check-in lines already starting to grow this morning. We've been keeping an eye on some of the arrivals and departures. I like sharing some good news. So far, everything running on time this morning. We're at the handicap parking lot near Turn 2. You can see sheriff's line tape still set up. But what you may not realize is that there's no centralized database for them to search. Here, they rely heavily on paper records. I'm told that if you take the grounds and what's left over from the coffee, you stir it around, your yaya grandmother can give you your fortune. A very emotional evening here in the Lantern Ridge section of Blacksburg, the last place Lovell was seen alive. You heard from police about the rapid investigation. She had been missing for 3 days before her body was found this afternoon. Now her family and the community are mourning her death. It's the vigil no one wanted to attend.
She's not alive.
Pastor Mike Honecker shared the news with dozens who gathered to pray for Nicole's safe return. Instead, they were forced to pray for peace and understanding for the family and a community who lost so much.
I didn't think that would happen to her because she was always the cutest little thing, you know.
It was really just a sickening feeling knowing that she wouldn't be coming back.
You know, we can't begin to imagine what heaven looks like. We can't begin to imagine right now what Nicole is seeing.
Disbelief spread as quickly as the news. The last pieces of hope faded away as the reality of Nicole's death set in.
But to be a mother myself and to know that this could have very easily been one of my children, it really hits home.
We want to pray because that's what we came to do, right?
The community staying united Saturday night for Nicole's family and each other.
We pray right now for Nicole's entire family, that they would feel the warmth of your embrace, the power of your presence, God.
It's just crazy how someone could do that to her.
Perhaps the largest question in the crowd was why this had to happen to a 13-year-old girl.
And God, we trust you tonight even when we don't understand.
There are still many questions tonight, including how Lovell and her alleged killer David Eisenhower met. Police are working to put together a timeline of events. If you have any information about Lovell or Eisenhower, call police. We're live in Blacksburg tonight. Christian Heilman, WDBJ7. The ATF's National Tracing Center may be an hour and a half from its headquarters in Washington, D.C. But when a gun is used to commit a crime, this is the heart of their effort to find out where it came from.
I'm calling with the ATF.
Every gun leaves a paper trail.
National Tracing Center.
And the job here is to find it.
We're providing a very important service to the law enforcement community.
In the last year, the center traced more than 300,000 firearms.
Very well-oiled machine with what we've got.
But what you may not realize is that there's no centralized database for them to search. Here, they rely heavily on paper records.
There simply is no such database. There is no national registry.
The seller keeps track of who bought any firearm.
I'll need that within 24 hours.
So the first line of attack is to call the manufacturer, then wholesaler, then gun store. But often enough, one of them is out of business. If they close, the store has to ship their records to the ATF. Right now, they're getting an all-time high of almost 2 million records per month.
A lot of these people have been in business since 1960, 1970, so you're talking 30 or 40 years.
Boxes as far as the eye can see.
That many records lead to some crowded hallways, with more rolling in every day. Employees organize, clean, and pack them into boxes so they can wait their turn to be scanned. Even when they're digitized, though, they're not searchable. Federal law says the ATF is not allowed to make any sort of database with gun buyers' names.
We are going through microfilm and reviewing hundreds of documents.
It would take an act of Congress to change that. For now, the ATF stays on the paper trail, helping law enforcement find criminals, by the guns they use.
They don't realize that it's this fundamentally manual process to trace a firearm.
In Martinsburg, West Virginia, Christian Heilman, WDBJ 7.
Go back through these brings back lots of memories.
They're more than memories for Geneva Watts.
Let's see.
They're her history.
These children are all married now. Tells you how old I am.
Geneva was the cafeteria manager at Pleasant View Elementary for more than 30 years, from the time man first walked on the moon to the new millennium.
I knew what the children liked, just like I would my family.
These hands served a lot of lunches over those years.
Everybody knew everybody in the neighborhood, and we all felt like family.
All that could come to an end.
Pleasant View is a one-of-a-kind school in this county.
The superintendent recommended that the school be closed down. 56 kids attend classes there. Thursday, there was standing room only as students, parents, and the community pleaded to save their school. They're worried about longer bus rides and its effect on their kids.
Financially, I see why they want to do it. But looking at the students, I can't. I don't see that part of it.
The school is a piece of history Geneva holds dear, one she is afraid could turn into a memory.
Education shouldn't be looked at financially all the way. It should be looked at the student and what they become.
The board is expected to determine the school's fate during a vote on May 12th. In Amherst County, Christian Heilman, WDBJ 7. As a fifth grader, Chris Ward has learned to do what many will never. His homework assignments are typed on this Braille typewriter. His math done with an abacus.
4 times 7, 28. I say I'm a genius.
This 12-year-old is never short on humor or determination.
It's been an inspiration to me because he's never complained about it. He's picked up on it so well.
Chris is considered legally blind. His eye muscles never fully developed, but his mother never gave up.
It was great to be able to actually experience that and know that there's something out there that can actually help improve his vision.
They went to Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago with his teacher to try a relatively new technology called eSight. Chris saw a whole lot of firsts.
Pretty cool glasses, huh? Once I could see my mom through those glasses for the first time, I was smiling.
He was also able to read words on a page.
I just broke down and I cried. It was just amazing because he's never been able to see details like that.
He would no longer be considered blind, but his insurance won't cover the $15,000 glasses.
It was kind of a low blow.
Now Mom is trying to figure out how to give her son sight. That way, he can learn to read like many others already do.
Once I read print books with the glasses, I'll be home free.